today's tutorial we're going to be making these candle covers, and these are really quite elegant. The reason why I got the Christmas ball out is that when I was doing the Christmas ball I realized that before it went onto the ball that the actual outside shape here actually fit the bottom of this candle cover. So what I've decided to do is that we're going to actually do a little bit of, it's almost like a fishnetting idea on the outside of the candle covers using the starting of the Christmas ball tutorial, just like so. So what I'm going to do is get you started, and we're going to start off with the center at the bottom here and work our way out. What you're seeing here is the Peyton's sequin yarn, and then I changed it over to the Bernat Handicrafter yarn, and I did change colors every now and then, and that will get you started. So what you're going to need for this tutorial is either a 2.5 or a 2.75 millimeter crochet hook. You might need a tape measure just in case. This candle holder is a 4-inch diameter. It's pretty standard. I bought it at a cheapy store. I'm going to be using the Bernat Handicrafter yarn today, and I recommend that you probably go get the directions as well. You can find that in the more information of this video. You'll either come directly to my website or you go to my friends over at elfreycrochet.com. So let's get started on the bottom part of this candle. So let's begin to do a slip knot. Chances are if you're doing this tutorial you are a bit experienced, so I won't go slow during that process. There are other videos if you want to. Let's begin to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and now let's form a ring. Just like so. So we're just going into the very first stitch. It is crochet thread, so it's a little more delicate than it is for the nice thick yarn that we're used to here on the channel. We're going to grab that and pull it through to form the center of the ring. I now want you to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and keeping the straggler on the outside, just like so. So when I go in, so we're going to do 19 double crochets. So wrap the yarn and go into the center. We want to keep the straggler on the top of that section so that it actually fastens right into the spot. So I want you to go around and do 19 double crochets. We'll meet back up at the end of this circle where we'll slip stitch and move along to the next step. So 19. We're now completed the circle, so we're just going to slip stitch by going into the top of the original chain that you started with and pull it through nice and tight, and now you have a full circle with now 19 double crochets all the way around. I now want you to chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want you to skip the next double crochet on the circle and go to the second one over, and I want you to single crochet into the position. Okay, and let's do that again. So chaining 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, skip the next double crochet that you see and go to the second one over, and I want you to do that all the way around, and you will end up with 10 spots that have the chain just like so. And so basically we're right here on this particular rotation. Now I've just come all the way around, and I want to do my last in the last section, and this is where we started with the first chain. I've received some emails already on the Christmas balls. We're going to slip stitch, by the way, just so I can tell you. Some people are saying they're only ending up with 9. If you're only getting 9, you really got to force a 10 in there, so just force it right in on the end, and then you can continue along. So now let's move on to step number 4. We are going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I want you to single crochet right directly in the middle of the first loop that you see in the bottom. Okay, so just go right into underneath, coming up. Okay, just like so. So let's do another one. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go to the next loop that you can find, single crochet, and I want you to do that all the way around. We'll meet back up in just a few seconds. So now coming around to the end, and we should have 10, and I don't have it yet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when you're going over to the last one, I want you to go into the base of where you started with the chain 5. Okay, so just slip stitch it into position, just like so and so. Okay, so now you have again 10 loops, and now what we're going to do is we're going to now single crochet into the starting of the next loop. Okay, so single crochet 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then what we want to do then is chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and then we go into the next loop that you can find and we single crochet 3 times again. One, 2, and 3. Okay, and then chain 9, single crochet 3 times, chain 9, and keep working your way around, and we'll meet back up at the end. And actually, just so that you're aware, this is exactly where we are. We're actually on the outside of the bottom already, and it's hard to tell that at this point because this thing has not yet been stretched. So I'm coming up to the last one, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this time when we come back down, we're actually going to go into the very start where we started the chaining, single crocheting of the 3 in a row right where we started. My camera angle is not always the best for crocheting teaching sometimes, so this yarn is pretty small. So we're going to slip stitch it just like so, and what I need you to do is begin to cast off. And we are now done all of the major bottom piece of this project, and now the rest of this is actually going to be very straightforward, and I'm going to show you only once on how to start building it up, and then at that point you can build it as high as you want to go, and yeah, and just follow the directions as per saying. So I'm just going to cast off, I'm just going to weave in the ends, and because this is crochet thread, I don't have to worry about cutting this stuff and it falling out too much, so I can cut it pretty close to the project, just like so. And I can fix that up later. So now you still should have 10 loops around the outside, and now you can either change colors or do what you need to do, but I'm going to still continue to use the same color, but you have to cast off at this point. Let's begin to cast on again. So if you decided to change colors, you would do so. If you have not changed colors, then it doesn't matter. You still have to do the casting on process as I've just shown. You're going to put this back on your hook, and the reason why we're doing it is that we need to start so that we're on the tip. Okay, so we need to be on the tip of a project before we can go any further. Like a tip of one of the tips, we can't be on the inside where we stopped. You can either cut it and fasten off, or if you feel comfortable with slip stitching to the center point, you can do so as well. So I'm just casting on. So now what I need you to do at this point is again chain 9 and then single crochet, chain 9, single crochet, and you keep working out on the edges, so just like chain that. 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then we just come to the next loop. And what you're actually doing here, and this is what you're going to be doing for the remainder of your project going all the way up into the top, is that when you look at these fishnet ideas in here, there's actually the chain of 9 underneath these stitches, and then there are stitches then put over top of it. Okay, so you see that there's a joining mark here. This is the chain that we're just completing, but then this here is the next layer that is just overlapping it, and that's what you're doing. So you're providing a foundation row and then finalizing it with another row right directly on top of it. So chain 9 and single crochet into each one of the outsides, and we'll meet back up. So I'm now just finishing, and where we want to slip stitch when we're finishing the last loop is right in the base to where we cast it on. Okay, so you will still have your 10 loops around the outside. So now we begin to stuff in single crochets on these lines going all the way around. So one time we go around, we're going to complete all the chains, and then the second time, which is now, is that we're going to stuff in the single crochet, and then when we go up for the next line, we're going to do the chain work and then stuff in the single crochet again. So let's begin to do so, and we're just going to chain 1 and begin to single crochet 12 times around the outside loop area. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if you remember, we chained 9 when we went to do the chain work, but now we're actually single crocheting 12. That means that we're stuffing in more stitches than we need to, which creates a nice solid look, just like you see. So now that we're done the 12 there, we just automatically jump to the next one and do another single crochet of 12 into that loop, and you do that all the way around. So I've now gone all the way around, and I want to slip stitch to the beginning where we cast it on in this one. And now what I want you to do is that every row now is going to be the same, working all the way up. Now how many that you go is subjective, up to you, but if you put too many in here, you won't get the nice stretching effect that really does echo on the candle really beautifully. So in this rotation here, I'm going to show you that you can slip stitch if you don't want to cast off at this point and start back at the top. Like I showed 2 steps ago, then you don't have to. All you have to do is just go into the top of the stitch and just pull through and through. Okay, and I want you to do it until you get to stitch number 6. And this is just a slip stitching method instead of casting off, to being able to get your hook to be started in the right section of the outside loop. Okay, so that was 4. Okay, we just want the 6th. Okay, so now that we're at the 6th, we then start again. So we have to create, and you can tell them in 6, by the way, you can see that the hook is right in the center of that. So begin what we did 2 steps ago. We just chain 9 and then we single crochet, and this time I want you to find the 6th one over and attach it right to it. So let's do the first one just together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then we go over. You can either eye it out or count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to the 6th, I want you to single crochet that to the actual stitch, just like so. See? Just like that, and then chain 9 and then go to the next one and do that all the way around, and then you can start on to the next step. Now come all the way back around, and this is where we started, obviously, and we can just slip stitch into the base of where we started, and just like 2 steps ago, we're going to slip stitch that, by the way, in. We just want to single crochet 12 and then 12 and 12 and all the way around. So that's all you have to do, and you can just see that this stitch here, when you go around, will turn into these really big, beautiful defined lines, just like so. So if you had a pillar candle that was different in height at this particular point, you're just going to go as many as you wanted to in order to create this idea. So you can follow the directions. So in the next part of the tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed this project up. I'm not actually going to do the rest of the level here, but I'm going to show you what we need to do on the top, because you will notice that the candle has like a lip, okay, that comes in, so that's where everything's going to grab onto. So on the last rotation we want to make it a little bit tighter, more snug, and then we want to do some of this frill work that you see on the outside, which is actually really simple too. So continue to do that as high as you need to go, and when we meet back up, I'll be at the top of this on this project and we'll work on it together. Before I move you now to the top layer, where we're going to show you how to do the top section, this is what it will look like at this particular point. You can see that it's stretching beautifully over top of the, well, over the base of the candle, and now basically you just have to keep working on these same loops all the way. Because you're not growing any more loops, the project will stay narrow in the shape of the pillar candle all the way, and when you go to turn it upside right, you can see that it just is going to be really beautifully holding it. So let's move along in the project, where we're going to do the top lip, and that'll be our next section. Okay, so I've taken off the ribbon for this, so this is basically what it will look like. It's kind of like cupping. You could actually use this as like a plant thing as well. So I'm going to pull it down. You can see that this has a lip, and usually there's a lid that's usually provided with these that seals up the candle when you buy them in the store. So this lip is actually going to work to our advantage, because when I pull it up, you can determine before you actually decide how high you want to go on how many of these that you want to make. So if you wanted to not stretch it as much, maybe you would push it down a little bit more, but you do want it to be a tense. So, okay, so if you're too loose, it'll look pretty sloppy, just like so. So I'm going to use this lip to my advantage, and I want to make sure that my top layer that I'm going around is actually going to be tighter. So let's begin to do that process on my sample. Let's use your imagination and believe that you are now done and you're ready to do the upper level of this particular candle. We want to make that tighter so that it fits into this particular gap a lot easier, and it prevents it from wanting to slip down. The ribbon that you'll add around will actually go within this lip as well, which is creating a nice solid cover for this particular candle. So in order to do so, we have to chain 5. So we've just stopped right in the middle. Okay, just like so. And so what I need you to do is that I need you to slip stitch over, or you can cast off, but if you slip stitch over, it's going to be over to the 6th one, just like we did and showed you before. So because I'm not changing colors with this, I would probably recommend doing the slip stitching method. Casting off is a lot easier as well. I just get really worried when I see cut strings in a project. It gives it another reason to come undone if it ever does come undone. Worst of all, if you're giving it away as a gift and it falls apart on somebody, that's just not fun either. So I've just slip stitched over, and so instead of going over by chaining 9 to the next 6 over here, I only want to chain 5, and that's going to make it tighter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I want to come over to the 6th one over, so just count it and come in for a slip stitch, or sorry, come in for a single crochet, I apologize, and then chain 5 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you will see that this is already starting to pull, coming over to the 6th one again, and do that all the way around. We'll meet back up and we'll continue the next part. I've come all the way around, and I just want to slip stitch right at the base of where we started to do the chaining of 5 before going all the way around. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch that in, and you can just see now it actually made it tight. Okay, so now what we did here, if you remember, is that we chained 9 and then we put 12 single crochets in to jam it in to make it really nice and full looking. So in this case, what we just want to start now is go into underneath the next chain, which is the chaining of 5, and put in 9 single crochets into each one as you work around. So that was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and now we go into the very next one that you see. So 1, and you do that all the way around. So chaining, or sorry, single crocheting 9. So now just finishing all the way around, and we just want to slip stitch it to where we started. Okay, so this time what we want to do is that we want to make 2 loops for every one section. How we do that is that we just immediately start chaining 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we come directly in the middle, so around the 4th and the 5th stitch. We want a single crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we come directly between the 2. You can see the one underneath is actually right there as well, and we want to single crochet ourselves into that spot, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Going into the middle section again, you can count it out or eye it out depending what you feel comfortable with, and then again chaining of 5 and then coming down into the middle. So do that all the way around, and we'll meet back up and I'll show you what to do next. We're now coming around again, and we just want to slip stitch, and now you have your chaining of 5, slip stitching it into where you started, and what you have now is that you have chains of 5 in between, and so now we want to thicken it up just like we see way over here. So basically when you look at this here, is that one section here, okay, just turned into 2, and then the rest of the sections will immediately line up to each other no matter what we do next. Right? So if you want more frill, what I've just showed you with the chaining of 5 and this next step I'm about to show you, you just keep doing it over and over until you feel satisfied with that. So now I just want you to chain 9, sorry, single crochet 9 spots in to the first one, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and then we go into the next one for 9. And you just have to continue to do that as many times as you want to, as big as the frill that you need. And then what we'll just do next is that we'll just finalize the ribbon section that I've applied to this particular candle. And if you have any accent pieces, you can simply add that on as well. So let's do that next. To apply the ribbon, you just can get a piece of ribbon. Mine is about 2.5 feet long. You can do a smaller one if you would like it, if you don't have that much. Just pull it up, and basically you want to operate in the big stitches directly underneath all of this. Okay, so we're just going to push it in to the one. Okay, find the next one over here and pull it out. So it's in through one side, out through another, and I want to keep that ribbon nice and kind of flat. It just makes it a lot easier to work with. So in and out, it just looks nicer when you're done. So this is kind of like a shoe ribbon idea, just in and out of the holes. Originally, when I first photographed this for Facebook, I never did this. I just put it on the outside and it looked really crappy. So this ribbon actually helps secure the candle cover into place as well, so it doesn't want to slip down when you do it like this as well. So you go all the way around. Okay, so now we're at the front, and I just want to kind of pull so that both ribbons are equal in front of the camera here, and I want to give this a good tie. And when I tie it, I want to make sure that it moves up. You can see that there's a lip right there. I want to push this up, and I want to make sure that the ribbon is up on that section, and I want to create a really nice bow. So off camera I would take a lot more care to do the bow than I just did right now. Okay, just like that. Okay, so it doesn't want to slip. That's not just a camera trick, everybody, that doesn't want to slip. And then all you just need to do is get some embellishments, just like so, and you could just slip it up in. So you don't have to make this like a Christmas theme if you didn't want to. You can actually change those up. I put a bell on it. When I did it, all I just did is I wrapped some wire around the outside of it. I kind of just put a little clip section on. So I just want to clip it underneath on the actual fabric, just like so. Adjust everything, adjust it all up, and voila, you have a color. So you just got to take a little bit more time to do that, and voila, you will have a candle cover that is really quite amazing to give away. Light your candle and you're good to go. Until next time, this is Mikey on behalf of All Free Crochet as well as the Crochet Crowd.